Hello, my name is El Sharif Kirkman. I'm a manager at Wendy's in New York, and I spent 12 days in the hospital because I got sick from eating their burgers. Around 2 months ago, I went to my boss and I informed her that there's something wrong with the meat. She brushed me off. Other employees said they complained as well to her about there's something wrong with the meat, and they said they were brushed off. Customers came to the store to report that there was issues with the meat. On Saturday, December 28, 2019, I reported to a manager that I was sick and I was vomiting after eating my lunch. And part of my lunch was Wendy's cheeseburger. The manager called me a liar to my face and threatened to fire me. I've been at Wendy's since October. I had never once reported that I was sick. I had never once called out for being sick. I had never once called out for any reason. I have been late one time because of transportation issues, and I called ahead to let them know I was going to be late. I never called off. I never left early. I've never been written up until that point. And every single time that a manager or anyone superior to me had asked me to stay late to help out, 100% of the time I stayed late to help out. 48 hours after I reported being sick, I needed an ambulance to come pick me up and take me to the hospital. After arriving at the hospital, I was admitted to the hospital for 12 days. Every day while in the hospital, I followed Wendy's policies. I called in every single day I was in the hospital, all 12 days, regardless of how much pain I was in. I made sure to follow Wendy's policy and call in every single day. The morning after I got out of the hospital, Saturday, January 11th, before Wendy's opened, I called the store to let them know that I had got out the previous afternoon. I let them know how long I was in the hospital. I let them know that I had a doctor's note that I'll be bringing Monday, January 13th, 2020. I informed the managers at the store I will be bringing a note, and on the note it will list when I entered the hospital, how long I was in the hospital, when I was released from the hospital, and when I will be able to return to work. I showed the note to my superior, the general manager. On Monday, January 13th, 2020, I brought that note to Wendy's before the store opened. The manager said, "Okay, thank you." And she said, "I will put you on the schedule for next week," because she had taken me off the schedule because I was in the hospital for so long, which I explained to her when I was calling in, that I fully understood that from their standpoint, they got to take me off the schedule until I'm out of the hospital. But I just wanted to continue to call and keep them updated. I called in on Wednesday, January 15th, 2020, to get my schedule for the next week. And another manager read me my schedule for the next week over the phone. Since I've started, I've been a full-time employee. When the manager read me my schedule, he said that I was only on the schedule for one day from 11 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. on Sunday, January 26th. 4.5 hours, down from 40 hours. I asked him to hand the phone, the general manager, the one that I handed the note, the doctor's note, with all the information on it, with the doctor's phone number, the doctor's name, the doctor's signature, all the details as far as when I entered the hospital, how long I was at the hospital, when I was released from the hospital, and when I would be able to return back to work. When I asked the manager how come I didn't get my regular hours back, the manager, my general manager, informed me that because I missed so many days, even though they're making a new schedule for that next week, I no longer have my 40 hours, and they got to put me lower hours. I was informed of that based off of the policy that I was told when I was hired. If you're sick, if you're at the hospital, the policy is you must call in and you must bring a doctor's note. I followed that policy to a T, and I kindly, respectfully asked the manager the policy that I was told, that if I'm ever sick, if I'm ever at the hospital, I need to call, keep the managers on duty updated, and keep her, the general manager, updated. And I did that. So I asked, why are my hours being cut so drastically if I follow every policy that I was supposed to follow? Once again, she told me that we have to cut your hours down from 40 hours to 4.5 hours a week. I was hesitant to release this video because with the issues with the meat that Wendy's been serving, issues with the disrespect that I've received, I know that once this video was released, it would negatively affect employees at Wendy's, and I didn't want it to negatively affect them. That's why I was hesitant to release this. My conscience told me I had to release it because what they did to me and issues they were having with the meat, where they were trying to hide it, and how they tried to railroad me and throw me under the rug, try to threaten to fire me, and then drastically cut my hours. My conscience told me all of this was wrong, so I had to say something. But I really was hesitant because I really didn't want this to come out, because I know it's going to affect employees that's in the middle that had nothing to do with this situation. Hard-working, good-natured employees. To any of you that are all affected by this video being released, I apologize. That is not my intention to hurt your situation, your family situation. If it does negatively affect you, this video, I need to let you know. I truly apologize. This is not my intention, but I truly had to say something. The disrespect that I received from Wendy's, and I seen what they were doing, trying to sweep under the rug when something's wrong with the meat. And I consistently, for over a month, said something and they did nothing. So I had to say something. I had to say something.